What's going on, you guys? How's it going? Welcome back to another video. I'm very excited about today's video. This could be a very controversial video. This could be one that a lot of people just find things to just ream me out for, and I'm going to be ranking both teams' reverse retros from least favorite to favorite. So taking a look at both years of these teams' reverse retros and kind of ranking them from my least favorite to favorite. This is very hard. I sat here for probably honestly a good solid 30 minutes just looking and trying to create this list, scrapping it, remaking it, because I had such a tough time in the middle ranking teams where I didn't really like one reverse retro from one year, but I really liked another one from another year. So I thought it was really tough. Obviously, I think my top 10 is pretty solidified. I think I could move any of those teams in that top 10 kind of just around, but I think all the teams in my top 10, I like both reverse retros from them. So they were like probably the only teams really that I liked both reverse retro sets just like fantastically. So I do expect this video to get some hate maybe because a lot of people seem to not like my rankings. I find when people do ranking videos like this, a lot of people seem to forget that these are just other people's opinions and they just ream people out in comments, and it's like, this is just my opinion, okay? We all have different opinions. If you want to voice yours, make your own YouTube channel and voice some opinions, or even just leave it down in the comments. Like, don't be rude about it, but just leave it down in the comments. We can all have fun here. Everyone's opinion's valid. Like, everyone can have their own, and obviously people are going to think certain jerseys are better than others. That's just how this goes. But before we get into it, as always, if you guys are new to the channel, it would mean a lot if you guys subscribed and liked the video if you enjoyed. Let's dive into this. So let's start it off in 32nd place, and I have the Detroit Red Wings. Now, it's tough because I do think this year's reverse retro, the red and black one, was actually kind of a step up, obviously from last year's practice jersey or the year before practice jersey. I just think that silver or that gray and white one is just so bad that it ranks this just way down. Like, when you look at both, they didn't really do fantastic this year's, and they did terrible in their first one. So I think it definitely makes it look worse. Though I do say I do want the Detroit Red Wings reverse retro from this year because I don't think it's terrible. It's just, like I said, you got to weigh both here. Coming in number 31 is the Philadelphia Flyers. Now, I did have a toss-up between throwing this one in last. Detroit in this team, Detroit and Philadelphia were kind of like a toss-up for me on which one I was going to put last and which one I wasn't. What it came down to is I do like their orange reverse retro a lot more than I like Detroit's reverse retro from this year. So I just really like that orange one they made, that orange and black one on the bottom there. I think that is a very nice reverse retro. I just hate that white one they made this year. I hate it. And I think the pants are a fun gimmick. I don't like those either, even though they did not wear them in game. Coming in number 30 is the Seattle Kraken. Now, although I love this Seattle Kraken reverse retro, I have it in my collection, they did not participate in the first one because they just weren't a team. So it's as simple as that. Because of that, I can't rank them any higher than some other teams. I did put them in 30th because I think their reverse retro is still better than any of the other two below them. I don't know. It was a hard one to decide if I was going to put the Seattle Kraken in last or if I was going to put them kind of close to it because I do love this jersey. This might be a hot take. Coming in number 29 is the Carolina Hurricanes, simply because this year's reverse retro wasn't really a reverse retro. It was a reverse, sure, but it was not a retro. They essentially just made a home version of their away jersey, which came out like a few years ago. I think I could be wrong. I think it came out in like 2019. So that was a huge miss, although I do think the jersey is absolutely beautiful. I love it. If they came out with that as a home jersey, I would be a big fan. It would probably be a top 5 home jersey, but due to just reverse retro, it's not a reverse retro. Everyone knows this. Everyone's talked about it. And then with their first year, I was just sick and tired of the Carolina Hurricanes coming out with Hartford Whalers stuff. I wanted to see them pull a jersey from their actual history, which they didn't really do in either reverse retros. So for that reason, I got them in 29th. Coming in number 28 is the Ottawa Senators. They just pulled their home and away jersey and made a red version. They essentially made an alternate jersey this year or last year. And I mean, it is what it is. People can like that, dislike that. I also think this year's reverse retro, I think it was a fun design. It was the design I wanted. I just don't like that there wasn't any white included. I think if you had white in between the red stripes on the torso, would make that jersey so much better. I just was not a huge fan of it. Though I will say, I think the font on it is fantastic. Coming in number 27 is the San Jose Sharks, simply because I just was not a fan of their first year reverse retro. I just don't like the gray whatsoever, where you're starting to see obvious trend here, where for these teams here, I don't like one reverse retro, and I like kind of like the newer one or the older one, you know what I mean? So there's one I don't like and there's one I kind of like, and that's where I found it really hard to grade these teams. I think the Sharks kind of Golden Seals jersey is fun. It's a cool kind of gimmick jersey. I'm just personally not a huge fan. I think the colors are beautiful. I love the colors here. That teal and yellow is just so cool together. But I just am not a huge fan of the jersey design in whole. Same with their first year. I like the logo. I like the colors they use other than the gray. Coming in number 26 is the St. Louis Blues. Their first year reverse retro was just so predictable. It is super duper ugly, but I think it's a good reverse retro. They did what they wanted to do. They have a retro jersey that's blue. They made it red. They essentially did what Columbus did. I think it is very nice. Not nice in the fact that it looks good, because I think it looks hideous in red. I think that jersey looks terrible in red, but it is good in the sense that they did a reverse retro. And then the yellow jersey, again, it is a good reverse retro because it was originally blue, but it's still just an ugly jersey. This one is tough. St. Louis is my second favorite team. They hit the nail on the head is what I was trying to say with doing a reverse retro. They just unfortunately have two kind of ugly colored jerseys. I just don't think the red and blue look good, and I mean, a full yellow jersey is just not my cup of tea, though I do think the design of the jersey is awesome. I'm just not a fan of the yellow. Coming in number 25 is the Anaheim Ducks. This might be a hot take to some people. I think their reverse retro this year is nice. I don't think it's anything amazing. It's probably in like my 20th range if I was to rank reverse retros, maybe, because it is nice, definitely, don't get me wrong. And then their first year reverse retro, I think it's just a gimmick, but I don't think it's a nice jersey. Now, I know this is a hot take, and a lot of people are going to disagree with me because a lot of people love that Anaheim Ducks jersey. I just am not a fan of it personally. Coming number 24 is the New York Islanders. Now, the New York Islanders, I should have ranked lower. The only reason I didn't is because I love that Fisherman jersey. I own it. I think it's a super nice jersey. I would love to get it customized because I think the numbers look amazing on the jersey. That jersey alone, the Fisherman jersey from this year's reverse retro, ranked this thing higher than it should have been because their first year was the biggest flop and honestly is probably the worst, right next to Detroit Red Wings when it comes to their first year reverse retro. It's just their home jersey with a darker blue, so that's really lame. I do, however, like I said already tons of times, that Fisherman's jersey is perfect. Not perfect, because if you guys remember the striping not lining up on the side of the jersey, that's definitely not perfect. But other than that, it's perfect. Coming in number 23 is the Chicago Blackhawks. Now, this might be high to some people, but I think their first years was honestly a beautiful jersey. I like that jersey so much. I think their first year reverse retro, hot take incoming, is better than their current home and away look. I think it is so nice. I love the red shoulders with the white stripe. I like different color shoulders. I mean, I got it in this jersey I'm wearing here. I think it looks so good. I like the black base. And then this year's reverse retro, I thought was fun. I did not dislike it whatsoever. I don't even think it's a bottom 5 in my opinion. It's not far from, like it might be bottom like 7 or 6 or something, but it's not a bottom 5 in my opinion. I think it looks quite nice. I also like the shoulder patch being on one side. I think it's just kind of funky and different. Coming in number 22 is the Montreal Canadiens. Now this one pains me to put them so low because I do like both jerseys a lot. I actually had both jerseys. I have their current one and I had their older one and I sold it, and I wish I didn't because they look cool together. But I did rank them low because it is just lazy. I would have liked to see a different design, maybe a barber pole design or something come out for this. They essentially have the exact same jersey for both, just different colors. And although I love the lighter blue and dark blue together, I think it looks so good. I just think it's a little bit of a lazy approach. Coming at number 21 is the Buffalo Sabres, strictly because they did 2 white jerseys. I would have loved to see a dark jersey in this somewhere, maybe even taking, like what they did with the goat head. I'm not a big fan of the goat head jersey. I just would have liked to see it maybe in a blue base instead of the white. I think white jerseys are fine, and I don't think their first years is bad. I do like it. I just would have liked to see a dark jersey in their lineup, and I'm not a big fan of the 2 white. I don't think it's a choice they should have made. I think they definitely should have went with one darker jersey. Coming in number 20 is the Nashville Predators. Now, I hate putting teams places because you expect something else from them, but I would have loved a navy jersey, of course. I just think the yellow I'm not a huge fan of. Like, that's why this is ranked where it is. I don't think there's anything wrong with either of these jerseys. I think they are both nice jerseys. I actually think this year's is better than their first year's, but I just would have loved to see a navy jersey. That's what it comes down to. And the yellow, just I don't like as much as I probably would have if it was navy. Coming in number 19 is the Columbus Blue Jackets. Now, I like both these jerseys. This is where we're hitting a point where I do tend to like most of these teams, like both their jerseys, and I do like both of these quite a bit. I just think they're both middle of the pack for me when it comes to jerseys I like in their respective like categories. Like for the first year reverse retro, I think it's kind of middle of the pack, and then for this year's it was kind of middle of the pack. So that's why it is where it is right now. It was hard to rank this one in my opinion because I do like the black and the blue reverse retro, and I do like the red for sure. I don't know, man. This was hard to rank. Coming in number 18 is the New Jersey Devils, and I put this where it is because of how much I love that green jersey. I love that first year's New Jersey Devils reverse retro. I think that thing is so nice. The green and red is just so much more appealing to the eyes than the red and green one was, in my opinion. Like, I just think having that dark green base is so nice. Now, this year's reverse retro, I'm not as big of a fan on. I do give them props for trying something different. I do like that they had one home jersey and one kind of away jersey for it. So I think that's kind of cool. You kind of get a white jersey and a dark jersey, a little mix, best of both worlds type thing. But I'm not a big fan of this year's reverse retro. I just don't like the colors. It's very St. Louis Bluesies with their old school, and I'm just not like a huge fan of the McDonald's kind of color combo with the blue in there. Coming in number 17 is the Winnipeg Jets. Strictly for this year's reverse retro, I think this thing is a perfect away jersey. The white and the two shades of blue just look so good. I actually think their reverse retro, the first one, is a little bit underrated. I don't love the gray at all, but I think the logo is great, and I love the striping of the dark blue going down from the shoulders down all the way to the bottom of the arm there. I think that is cool. They pretty much took this design here, but I think it looks really nice. Again, I'm not a big fan of the gray. Coming in number 16 is the Colorado Avalanche. Now, this might be a hot take to some people. I personally am not a big fan of this year's reverse retro. I don't like the Pac-Man C logo. I just think it's goofy looking. I'm just not a fan. Now, this obviously could be a hot take. There could be people out there that love it. I'm just not a fan. I think their first year reverse retro was one that was people loved. I mean, I loved it. I had it in my collection. And then as you've seen it more and more, it was like, okay, it's kind of boring. It is a little bit boring. I think what defines it, and is a term that I use quite often, I don't know if I love it, is clean. I think it is a clean jersey. I just don't think there's anything wrong with it, but there's not a lot going on. It's just a very, I don't know, clean is the best way to describe it. It's also kind of just boring. Coming in number 15 is the Boston Bruins. Now, I don't know where people would rank this. I think I might have ranked this a little bit higher. I think if I was going back and doing this again, I maybe would put them a little bit lower. But I think I don't like this year's reverse retro. I don't like the Pooh Bear. I do like the shoulders, and I do like the striping. I just don't like the logo. I think the shoulders are super cool with the big Bruins text there. It's super funky, and I like that. I just don't like the Pooh Bear logo. And I actually think for a yellow jersey, so their first year was actually quite underrated. I think it was pretty nice. As far as a yellow jersey goes, it looks good. Coming in number 14 is the Toronto Maple Leafs. Now, I did not like their first year reverse retro. Again, with the gray, I just wasn't a fan. I think the logo looks pretty good. I kind of like how it's outlined. It's the same color as the jersey. But this year's reverse retro, I think is very, very nice. I want it really bad. Sports Check definitely had it on sale. I'm so tempted to buy it, but I have not. I think the logo is good. I like that Toronto Maple Leafs logo, the one with the sharp edges and a lot of spikes. I think that's really cool. I also like the skinnier shoulders. I think that's really fun too. I just think this reverse retro would be a perfect upgraded home jersey to what they have. It's pretty much the same striping. I just love the shoulders. Coming in number 13 is the Vegas Golden Knights. I don't think there's anything wrong with either jersey. I definitely think I like this year's more than their first year's, but I don't think there's anything wrong with either one of them. I think it's good that they embraced a red for the reverse retro. I think that's fun. They do have red. Like I said, in their secondary logo here, they got red, so I think it's cool that they embrace that. And I think the black jersey is awesome. I think they need a black jersey, not like the gray one they used. I like the fact that they went with a full-on black. And the glow in the dark, is cool. Coming number 12 is the Dallas Stars. Now, this might be a hot take to some people because of their first year reverse retro, but I think it is the most slept on and underrated reverse retro from that first series. I actually like it quite a bit. The only thing I don't like about this jersey is the Stars text in white or silver, I guess, and the outline of the star being in silver as well. I think if that thing was green or even black, it would make this jersey way better. What I like about it is that I do like just the outline of the star. I know people wanted the typical one where it's colored in, maybe black towards the bottom of the jersey, but I do like that it only has the outline. I like the white gloves too. I think it's a nice jersey. And then this year's, the one I'm wearing here, I think is one of the most slept on reverse retros. I love this thing, and I wish I could explain why. I just think the black and the green together is just so nice. To me, it's a top 5 reverse retro. But because I'm not as big of a fan as their first one, it kind of brings it down the list a little bit. Coming in number 11 is the Florida Panthers, and I ranked this high because of their first year. I'm not a fan of their last year reverse retro, in my opinion. Something about it I don't like. I think what it is, and I still believe this to this day, is it looks like a kid was told to pick colors and do like a jersey on a coloring book, and this is what they created, and I just don't like it. It just doesn't work for me. I don't like that there's dark blue on the bottom of the jersey and then red at the top. It just feels unbalanced. Their last year's one though, or their first year's one, sorry. Oh my god, that thing is perfect. From the shoulder patches to the cool pointed stripes on the shoulders to just the pointed stripes on the sleeve, the logo, everything about that first year one is perfect. To me, it's a top 3 reverse retro from the first series, in my opinion. Coming in at number 10 is the Calgary Flames. Now, I like both of these reverse retros about the same. Like, the reason I put them in 10 is because I think their first year is probably 10th on my ranking, and I think this year's is probably 10th on my ranking. So I actually think 10th is just the perfect spot for me to put them on this list. A part of me wanted to put them under Florida because of how much I like their one reverse retro, same with Dallas. But the more I thought about it and the more I kind of looked at it, I was like, this is, in my opinion, a perfect spot for me to put them. Coming number 9 is the New York Rangers. Now, this is just 2 different takes on the same logo, and I love it, personally. They went with 2 blue jerseys, one being dark, which is very minimal striping, which I think looks super clean. And then this year's, I just think it's nice as well. I think the red being on the bottom of the sleeve is cool. I love that the center of the torso of this jersey is just completely clean. It's got no striping. I think that is so nice. I like both these. Coming in number 8 is the Pittsburgh Penguins. Now, you guys might remember when I first reacted to the reverse retros 2, I kind of reamed out the Pittsburgh Penguins reverse retro, saying it's boring, it's just lackluster, they should have added gradient. And although I think those opinions are true, and I still think that, I do like the jersey. It has grown on me a lot. And I am a firm believer that I think their first year reverse retro is easily a top 10 reverse retro. I love the white with the Pittsburgh text. I have their alternate one, the black one. I would love this one. I like this one more. I like the black on the bottom of the sleeve and the torso. And I just think the text looks so good on a white jersey outlined in black like that. Coming in number 7 is the Tampa Bay Lightning. I personally am one to believe that I think that Tampa Bay Lightning reverse retro is probably maybe a top 3. It's hard to say. They're top 4 or top 3, something like that. They're fighting with Florida for that top 3 spot in the first year reverse retro. It's definitely, I think, the number 1 reverse retro that I regret just not getting in my collection because I think it's gorgeous. I think it's so nice. I love the white shoulders. I love the white on the bottom, and then it's got black underneath. And then this year's was just so fun. It was so funky. I don't even know. Do I have this in my collection? I think I do. Okay, well, I'm tripping. I thought I had this year's Tampa Bay reverse retro. I must have sold it. But I don't know why I did that. Now I'm thinking about it, I'm a little bummed at myself. I don't know why I did that. I think it's a nice jersey. It's fun. It's funky. To me, it's a better, fun, funky jersey than what the Anaheim Ducks was. Coming in number 6 is the Minnesota Wild because I think they just created the perfect home and away jersey with reverse retros. I love the way these 2 jerseys just feed off each other. I love the subway color. I think it looks so good. I think the logos customized in that color is so nice. I like the white shoulders on the home and then the dark shoulders on the away version. I just think it's so cool that they did a home and away version and they look so good together. Coming number 5 is the Vancouver Canucks. Now, this is my favorite team and I didn't put them here because of this. I put them here because both of these reverse retros are my 5th favorite in each of their categories. I love the Sprite one they called. I think the gradient is super cool. The fact they went with the gradient is so bold and so fun. I respect it. I love it so much. And then Johnny Canuck, I just think is a perfect jersey. I think this would be a great alternate jersey for them, or even just a great rebrand if they decide to rebrand in the future. I love the thing. Coming in number 4 is the Edmonton Oilers. Now, this might be a hot take to some people, especially as a Canucks fan. I don't like Edmonton. But I like their first year reverse retro. I think the white is so nice. I like the orange shoulders. You guys, one thing you'll know about me is I do like colored shoulders. I think they're so nice. And then the cogwheel one, I just like this a lot. I just think the dark blue is really nice. I think the logo is nice. I love the big, bold, just white stripe with the numbers inside. I think the customization looks great on it. I think it's a perfect alternate jersey. Coming in number 3 is the Arizona Coyotes. Now, this top 3, in my opinion, solidified. Like, no doubt in my mind, I would not move any of these top 3 because I love both jerseys from this. The Arizona Coyotes, to me, had the best first year reverse retro. That purple one is absolutely perfect. I have it somewhere behind me. I think this year's one is nice as well. I think it's maybe like 6 on my ranking. I don't think it's like the best one that's out there. I think the colors are just kind of like, they're fun. I do just, however, think that purple one is so good that I just couldn't put this team up in top 3. Coming at number 2 is the Washington Capitals. They did a great collab on both these jerseys. I think both these jerseys feed so well into each other. The fact they have one for present day colors with the blue and red is sick. I think the fact they made the base color red instead of blue is what they should have done. It makes it way better. And the black one, in my opinion, it's just a perfect jersey, man. I think that black Washington Capitals jersey would be a perfect home jersey. This thing is better than the blue one that they had originally. I just think it's perfect. And then coming in at number 1 is the LA Kings. You have what is a perfect home and away jersey, essentially. I think their first year reverse retro is top 3. I would say either one of these teams have top 3 reverse retros. And then theirs from this year, I think, is slept on. Some people don't really like it as much as I think they should. I think the purple is awesome. I think the logo is great. I own the jersey, so I have just a different appreciation of it. But I mean, holy, I love both of these jerseys so much. So there you guys have it. That is my ranking of both reverse retros. This was a long video, man. I've been sitting here for half an hour recording this. I don't know what it's going to be when I edit it, but it's long. I will preface and say that I think the top 10 could be moved around a bit. I think my top 3 could be moved around a bit. I think if I look at it one day, the Caps could be first. I think if I look at it another day, Arizona could be first. I think it's totally interchangeable. I honestly think majority of this list is interchangeable. I think if I did this in 3 months, it'd be different than I did now, which I think is funny. You just never know with these rankings. It's kind of just how you're feeling in the moment. And this is how I'm feeling in the moment. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know down in the comments your guys' opinions. What's your guys' top reverse retros if you look at both? That was my thing. I found it hard was to try to look at both years and then think where it should go, because some I thought were bad and some I thought were really good. So it's like those teams kind of just get thrown in the middle, which is tough, but it's just the way it goes. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Like, subscribe, comment down below your guys' opinions, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Peace.